for just giving you a quick update on where we are from yesterday's watch list and what we're obviously looking out for. Now, we've executed a trade on GBP USD, so just to give you an overview of exactly what we're looking at. Following last week, we said that we'd give you more in-depth feedback and analysis on how to manage the trades and what to sort of kind of look out for when we're in this particular trade. So, if I just go to GBP USD on the 4 hourly, which is the same view as what we did on the watch list. So, we highlighted this particular spike here, which did signal that there was going to be downside movement. Looks like we've actually spiked up back into that region. Now, I mentioned that as long as we stayed within this sort of zone, this 1.21, this 40 pip zone right here highlighted in red, we were expecting a higher low, but we've actually spiked up and created a new higher high as well. But what I'm interested to actually have a look at is, if you notice where these candles have actually closed, I'm really highlighting the level of what that's going to be our perceived level of resistance around 1.4216, around this sort of level at the last week's previous high point. Now, if you take a look here, you've actually noticed that these candles on the 4 hourly have all closed just below last week's previous high. So what I'm waiting for is, I'm looking at how this next candle closes. If we close above last week's previous high, I'll probably be looking to exit our short that we've got on. If we close below, which is around about 1.4215, then I'm going to be looking to obviously stay on with this trade for the next candle. So let's see how this one pans out. If we close anywhere above 1.4236, I'm going to be exiting the trade on this in the next 15 minutes as well. So if I take this into a 1 hour time frame, what I'm hoping for here is, I'm hoping for a nice bearish candle, and then followed by, I really need 2 bearish candles to take us back down to about 1.42 for me to be comfortable that we're going to fall into place and touch this MA of 1.4164, which will take us to our first target. So that's what we're looking for this next trade, but I'm going to highlight this quite clearly on the next chart as well. So this is what that trade actually looks like. If I zoom this out, if I zoom this into the 1 hour chart, our entries were at 1.4225, and you can actually see here we entered this, I believe it was 20 past 12 earlier on today, and we actually just plummeted. We fell a nice 26 pips short, so we had a nice solid entry, but then we actually rebounded off this moving average. So our 9 MA acted as another level of support, which obviously sent price up. But it seems to be that we're floating around this region, our entry point region. So it's giving me a bit more confidence that this is a nice level of resistance that we've got formed here. So I'm just going to draw this on. So there we go. So as long as we stay below, and we keep on, and the candles keep on closing below these 2 points, then I'm quite happy to stay in the trade, which is why I mentioned that 1.4236 reach. If you notice here, we opened around this level, but we actually closed here at 1.4235. And then again, we opened at 1.4236, and we closed below that. So if we can stay below this region of resistance, that's what I'm obviously looking at. In terms of level of current support, again, we've got this moving average right here. We've got this trend line to look out for. So it would make sense if the price falls back down. Hopefully we can have enough resistance, because the moving average is going to be above the price, which will inevitably let us break this trend line. If we break this trend line, then we're going to obviously break through to the next level of support. We could actually see 1.4150 if this happens, and that would look something like this. Simply price rolls over, our moving average right here is going to sit above the price, similar to what it looks like here, where I'm clicking, where the moving average, notice where this blue line sits above the price, and then hopefully we'll get a nice 30, 40, 50 pip fall from that point. But it's going to be a case of looking at this moving average close right there. So if we get price to come down to this trend line, what I've also noticed as well is since the market actually opened, we had a gap. Up in the market, about 15 pips gap. So the rule of thumb again is gaps will be filled in this market. They will get filled eventually. So it's just really watching for price and looking at our support and resistance levels to see how we're going to take it down. So the move for now on GBP USD is we're pretty much sitting around our entry points, 5 points minus at the minute, but not necessarily to worry as long as we keep below 1.4236. So ideally that's what we're looking for. Get to this break or bounce scenario at this trend line right there. If we break the trend line, I'm hoping that we're going to revisit our highlighted area of support. But if we break that highlighted area of support again, we'll actually be on this moving average right here, which is our 20 EMA. So if we can close underneath this 20 EMA, which is around about 1.4180, then we're definitely well into target. What I'm potentially looking at doing is if we close underneath that EMA, we'll be waiting for a retest of that new level of resistance, and then I'll take a second entry to target our next move, which is going to be ultimately 1.14150, and I'll actually extend our take profit target all the way down to that level and move our stop loss to this level here. So we're going to be risk free in this trade, but we're just going to have to sit patient for this one for GBP USD. But this is how you sort of manage your trades, look at your entry points. I was ideally hoping that we were going to continue with the momentum from this 1 hour and actually smash through, because the size of this candle, it's huge. I think I covered in the